In this video, we're going to work on computing f prime of c using the definition of the derivative with the limit process. So first, I'm going to create myself kind of my own formula. So I'm going to say that f prime of -1, because our c is -1, equals the limit as h approaches 0 of f of -1 plus h minus f of -1 all over h. So this means I'm going to plug in the -1 plus h, and this means I'm going to plug in the -1 into my original function. So I'm going to start setting that up. So what I'm going to do in this one is I'm going to write this function, and I'm going to write it with parentheses for the x. I'm going to do a minus and a parentheses, so this is where the back piece goes. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do parentheses for the x. And it's all over h. Now I'm going to start dropping things into my parentheses. So in the first sets, I'm going to plug in the -1 plus h. And in the second sets, I'm going to plug in the -1. Now I'm going to try to simplify that. So the first thing I'm going to do to simplify is I'm going to do a little bit of foiling with this right here. So I'm going to do that work off to the side. So you've got -1 plus h times -1 plus h. -1 times -1 is 1. -1 times h is -h. There's going to be a second one in the middle, so that's -2h. And h times h is h squared. So that is going to get put in this first spot. So it was -1 minus 2h plus h squared. Then here, I really don't need the parentheses, so I'm just going to drop them. So -1 plus h minus 2. Back here, I'm going to do this calculation. So -1 squared is 1, -1 minus 2. So those are going to cancel. We have a minus sign right here. So it's minus a -2, which is going to go positive. We're all over h. Let's see if we can find some stuff that cancels. So it looks like the 2's cancel. It looks like the -1 or the 1 and the -1 cancel. So let's write down what's left. We have the limit as h approaches 0 of -2h plus h squared plus, I could combine like terms. Let's do that. I can put this one together with this one. So that would be -h. And then all over h. I still need to do something else because I don't want to get 0 in the denominator. So I'm going to factor a greatest common factor of h out of the top. So I've got h coming out, which gives me -1 plus h all over h. And then I know that these two here are going to cancel. So I end up with the limit as h approaches 0 of -1 plus h. So I'm going to plug that 0 in for the h. So I get -1 plus 0 or -1.